Coming up on DITV, the University of Iowa students hold a service in memory of one of their own.
And later, how did students cross the street to get to the bus stop? Stay with us to hear some student issues with the crosswalks.
Will I survive the heartbreak of Megan Gustafson graduating? Probably not, but I'll tell you why the team will be just fine in sports.
We're looking at another week of ups and downs when it comes to the forecast. Stay tuned for weather.
All that and more coming up in this Tuesday morning edition of DITV.
Don't go anywhere, DITV starts right now. Good morning, thank you for tuning in. I'm Sydney Zack.
And I'm John Chenoweth. The polar vortex last week has been attributed to at least 20 deaths, including a University of Iowa student. Gerald Bells was found early last Wednesday morning behind Halsey Hall when he was rushed to the hospital where he died. Last night, UI students remembered Bells at a vigil at the Newman Center. Bells was a second-year pre-medicine student at the university. His friends and family remember him as a tough but extremely caring person.
President Trump has given his State of the Union address tonight, and Eastern Iowa Republicans think he should have done it back in January when it was originally scheduled. Daily Iowa ethics and politics reporter Sarah Watson is in the newsroom to tell us more. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning.
Sarah, why do some Iowa Republicans think the address should have been given back in January?
So they've said that they wanted to him to give it back in January because it would have been more timely. It would have been right after the 35-day government shutdown, and he would have been able to address the nation at a time when things were not knitting together so well, which is a reason why many Republicans still agree that it may have been a better time to give it now, tonight, instead, just so that he's not facing more backlash than he would have previously in January.
And going off of that, can you explain a little bit more why some Iowa Republicans think now is the better time to give the address?
I think it's just not mired by the shutdown. Iowa Republicans are hoping that President Trump addresses some legislative issues moving forward. They hope that he addresses bipartisanship, and Democrats on the other side of it hope that he also addresses legislative issues and think that House Speaker Nancy Pelosi did the correct thing in standing up to President Trump.
Sarah Watson live in the newsroom, thank you.
On Sunday, Saigon's Corner, a Vietnamese restaurant in Coralville, opened its second restaurant location in the Old Capitol Mall. DITV reporter Melissa Meter has more on the story.
Saigon's Corner is a new Vietnamese restaurant that opened in the Old Capitol Mall on Sunday. The restaurant serves a variety of Vietnamese dishes of hot pots, rice, noodles, and offers vegetarian options. The restaurant is owned by Tyler Phan.
I cook the real taste, same like my country. That's why if you come to my place, you see a lot of Vietnamese. Yeah.
The original Saigon's Corner is in Coralville, but the owner wanted to open a second location in the Old Capitol Mall to be closer to some of his customers.
Customers, they are students, and now most of them don't have cars. They just walk. I know that. That's why I wish I can have a chance to go to downtown Iowa City. We're not really busy, but it's good because I just want the kitchen run smooth, ready for next week. If today we busy right away, I think a lot of things that mess up. And it's very good when we open today and like this.
Overall, the opening went well. That's all from me. I'm Melissa Meter, DITV.
An Iowa senator announced yesterday that he wants to end marijuana prohibition in Iowa. Democratic Senator Joe Bolcom says it's time for Iowa to get in line with the other 10 states that allow the illegal growth, manufacture, and purchase of marijuana. Right now, medical cannabis can only be bought in the state for medical purposes.
Legal marijuana is coming to the Midwest. It's time for us in Iowa to begin to have a serious discussion on how we might tackle that or move away from prohibition.
Bolcom said by regulating marijuana like alcohol, it would provide new jobs and businesses as well as more economic activity in the state.
You know, Sydney, I'm just pretty happy that the whole winter vortex situation is over, and I'm really looking forward to some warmer temperatures.
Me too. I'm hoping it's over, but who knows? To tell us more, we have Mackie in the weather studio. Mackie?
Thanks, guys. Sadly, we still might be seeing some of the effects of the polar vortex. We have an interesting week of weather ahead. This morning, we're looking at a high of 32 degrees with cloudy skies and a 10% chance of rain. Moving into the evening hours, we have a low of 26 degrees with a 70% chance of freezing rain. Now on to the extended forecast. On Wednesday, we have a high of 37 and low of 29 with rain in the afternoon. There is potential for the rain to freeze over, making the roads slick. It is best to take caution driving to work in the morning. Moving on to Thursday, there will be a high of 32 and a low of 1 with the possibility of more rain in the morning. On to Friday, we're looking at a high in the lower teens and a low of 0 with partly cloudy skies. On Saturday, we may see some snow later in the day and a high in the mid-20s. Closing out your weekend, we'll see a high in the lower 30s with cloudy skies. We're looking at a roller coaster of weather for the week, and it's unfortunately not time to put that winter coat away quite yet. My advice, just be prepared for it all. Cindy and John, back to you.
I sure wish I could put that winter coat away. And you know, walking across the street is something we have all done since elementary school. However, some University of Iowa students are expressing concern with the limited crosswalks on campus. They now have to sprint across the street while avoiding a car or a CAN bus to make it to their classes or to the bus stop. UI campus planning said they are addressing their issues in their latest plan. They're partnering with UI Parking and Transportation and the City of Iowa City to talk to students over the next year about the issues.
This Iowa City local is transfiguring his life from an actor in the Midwest to a career on Broadway. Patrick Dulaney will be making his debut as a second-year cast of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Dulaney began performing in Iowa City in 2008 when he arrived for the Riverside Shakespeare Festival at Riverside Theater. He fell in love with the city and he decided to live here permanently in 2010. Dulaney will be taking the stage in the magical world on March 20th at Manhattan's Lyric Theater.
You know, John, I'm quite the Harry Potter fan, and Quidditch sure looks like it would be a fun sport.
I'll say I don't think University of Iowa has a professional, Quidditch team, but we do seem like we have a professional basketball team after the win on Friday against number 5 Michigan. Let's toss over to the sports studio and see what they got for us today.
Thanks, guys. I'm super interested to see if Iowa can keep moving up in the ranks and move up from 20, maybe up so they can go even better into the month of Michigan. But it was the bench that edged Iowa over number 5 Michigan on Friday. Men's basketball beat reporter Declan Levy tells us about how one player made the most of his time on the court.
Iowa's upset over Michigan brought a rush of excitement back into Carver. Backup center Ryan Kriener played a huge role, and while many were surprised, head coach Fran McCaffrey knew exactly what he would bring off the bench.
Well, he was phenomenally important, but he is that every game. We need him. It's been exciting to watch him just continue to grow with his confidence, and getting a double-double against Michigan says a lot.
Ryan Kriener had his first career double-double with 15 points and 10 rebounds, and his teammates really understand how important his tonight in knocking out the number 5 team in the country.
Ryan was huge, both defensively. He was hitting the offensive glass, getting easy putbacks, making strong moves. He was very effective in helping us get this win.
100%. When I went to the bench with 2 fouls, I was a little frustrated, but he helped me out because he was out there killing them, and I was so proud of him tonight. He just really stepped up, and that's our team. We got a next man up mentality, and he came out there, he played with confidence, and he's shown it at many points in the season. The type of player he is when he plays confident, and he really stepped up for us tonight, and one of the huge reasons we won this game.
Kriener has improved all areas of his game all season long. For Iowa to make a run in March, Kriener will need to be a big part of the game plan. Reporting from Carver Hawkeye Arena, Declan Levy, DITV Sports.
And like Declan said, March isn't too far off. And unfortunately, that means we only have a limited time amount left with Megan Gustafson. And one player is already looking ahead to fill that role. Women's basketball beat reporter Natalie Accapetti tells us more.
The leading scorer of Iowa basketball only has 4 more career games left in Carver Hawkeye Arena, but who will fill those shoes?
Monica Cesano, we brought her in at the post position from Watertown, Minnesota, 6'3" post player. Is kind of the future in our post position, and so it's important that she gets those valuable minutes this year and that confidence.
Having an All-American on your team is one thing, but getting to learn from one is another.
I'm telling you, she's almost as physical as Megan. She has a great motor. She is learning every day and going against Megan every day, and you cannot believe the improvement that we've seen in her from last June till now.
This Minnesota native has hit the court for 112 minutes so far this season and has come to play every minute.
And I think all of us have been really impressed with the minutes Monica has given us and just the way she's been finishing and coming in playing confident for freshmen is really important.
The future is looking bright for freshman Monica Cesano as she is learning from the best. Reporting from Carver Hawkeye Arena, Natalie Accapetti, DITV Sports.
But for now, I'm just going to pretend that Megan isn't graduating and avoid it as long as possible. And my plan on how to do that? Watch some men's gymnastics. DITV sports reporter Marissa Kraft tells us more on the energy we can expect from the team this year.
Despite finishing second in the home opener with a season-high team score, the Iowa men's gymnastics team made sure to bring the energy and cheer each other on in every event.
I think you saw that, right? They were really good. The energy was good together, and that's really important for what we do because once you're going, you're out there all alone. You know, and to know that you've got a team behind you and that somebody else, if you make a mistake, is up after you, it's going to fix it. That's a lot of what we try to teach them and do, and we're really seeing that like cohesion between the guys, and that's a lot of fun to be a part of.
This Hawkeye liveliness was especially noticeable in one of the team's captains. Senior Jake Brutazon brought great energy and kept fans hyped and engaged throughout the night.
I just like to be that person for everyone to for me, the biggest thing in gymnastics is the happier you are, the more fun you're having, the better you're gonna do. So I just like to be that person for everyone else to know that even if it wasn't a great routine, if it was an okay routine, get excited. We train all year round to compete 10 times, so enjoy it.
The Hawkeyes will have to bring the same energy when they compete against top-ranked Oklahoma next week. Reporting from Carver Hawkeye Arena, Marissa Kraft with DITV Sports.
Now Oklahoma is coming off of their 4th straight national title. And I think we found the college gymnastics version of the Patriots, and I'm not a fan. But before I go off on a rant on how the Chiefs should have made it this year, we're just going to cut this sportscast. So come back tomorrow for a look at one player's journey from a team manager to a team player. John is sitting at the desk. Back to you.
But thank you for tuning in to this Tuesday morning edition of DITV.
Be sure to head over to dailyiowan.com for all your latest news.
That isn't enough of the Daily Iowan for you. Be sure to check out our print edition of the news on stands now.
For DITV, I'm Sydney Zatz.
And I'm John Chenoweth. Have a great day, Iowa City.